Yeah, okay, time to live free. Plenty goals I'm achieving. Some real life topics and talking financial freedom. Mindset, soul and love, everything in between. This is Freedom Podcast. Tune in, live free. Hey, got my mindset right and I got the drive. Planning one day, no more job, no more 9 to 5. Love money, mine. Love money, mine. This is freedom. Tune in, cause it's going down. Woo!
Hi, this is Anna and welcome to another episode of your Freedom Podcast. In this episode, I interview Manoj Singh. Manoj is a recipient of the Rex Karmaveer Award, instituted by the iCONGO, recognised by United Nations. He's got a rare disease and is a rare disease warrior. He has rare bleeding disorder, hemophilia, and he is a researcher, life coach, motivational speaker, trainer, author, podcaster and social entrepreneur. He's an inspiring guy and I can't wait to bring you this episode. Manoj, it's really great to have you on the show. Thank you very much for sparing the time.
Thank you so much to you too, Anna. Thank you.
So I know I've been reading all about you and your story and your coach and speaker, and it's really inspiring to hear everything that you've kind of gone through on your journey. And I just really wanted to open it up to say, tell us about this story. How did everything start for you?
See, for me, the journey started with my birth, because if I tell you about my life, everything started with my birth. Because just before I was born, we lost my elder brother. He was 8 months old, and my family was grieving during that time. Right? It was not that good a time for my family. They have lost their eldest son, and my parents were not happy, and the mood was not happy when I actually happened to come into this world, right? And these stories, as my mother tells me that how I was born, and the day I was born, actually it was, if you are aware about Raksha Bandhan, that is a brother and sister festival in India, where we celebrate. And it was the Raksha Bandhan a year after demise of my elder brother, and my sister wanted to tie rakhi in the hand of her brother, right? So cometh the Raksha Bandhan, and her demand, I was born. Just a few days in time, I was born. So that was what my life was at the beginning. And because I am actually, my life, you would be able to better understand if I tell you the main thing, that I am also a patient of severe hemophilia. That's a rare bleeding disorder. Because if you are born with a genetic condition, your life cannot be separate from, right? Whatever you do, whatever you achieve in your life, or whatever happening, somewhere you will be connected because of that condition. So that is a health condition that cannot be avoided, because it is still uncurable. And gene therapy, people are working on it. There in England, the medical college is working on it, gene therapy, and they have shown successful results. But come to my life, as I was growing up, I was about a year old, fell and had a cut here. And even after stitches, the blood won't stop. The clotting won't happen.
I was going to say, does it mean that? Is it something to do with the clotting then? Is it?
Yes. It is related with the clotting. In England, you might be aware, because the royal family had it. Queen Victoria and all. So the Europe. So again, if things are happening to rich people, then only the things become known.
You're part of the royal. You've got connection with the royal family, you say.
Yeah, it is also known as the royal disease. Hemophilia is also known as royal disease. So actually, I live a royal life. So I have launched my autobiography. That is Power in Me, the royal story. The royal journey. So it is based on that part only. So when I was one, I fell. Stitches also want to stop the bleeding. So my mother's blood was transfused, and then the bleeding stopped. The doctor till then, because it was a rare condition, People were not aware of it. Even the doctors were not aware of it, since it is so rare. Nowadays, when more people are talking about this, advocacy is being done. So people are now able to know about it. Even I am talking about it. When I was growing up in school time, I couldn't be a normal child. Why? Because I would suffer from bleeds in my joints, because it's not just a bleed that you got cut and a bleeding won't stop. Because of the severe condition of the disease, we would suffer from spontaneous bleeds in our joints, muscles, and even sometimes serious bleeding could happen into the vital organs. That could be life threatening. I have almost died many of times, but by God's grace, I believe I'm still here talking to you, because my life has a purpose. I believe my life has a purpose.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm still alive. And once that is fulfilled, then it's okay, right? Everyone
Yeah.
has to go. So when I was in school, I wouldn't have regular schools, because uh, whether ankle or elbows or something, we would suffer from a bleed. So it would lead to swelling and pain conditions. When I was young, I wouldn't know why it is happening to me. I would not understand the condition. And since my parents were not educated, again, the problem, how would they know about it? The doctors, they were less aware. And because we were lesser cases, so the main focus was on the majority of the cases that were coming to the doctor. So they won't focus much on it, why they are suffering or why the problem is happening. So it was all as if you have been thrown into the water and you've been told to learn how to swim without getting the support, right?
Yeah.
So it was suffering from the childhood. You would mature early then. People who suffer from the childhood, they mature early at a younger age. We understand the emotions and feelings, and we can connect with people who are going through pain by just talking to them, or their words, or even by looking at them, we can connect. There is something void is there in the other person. So those things actually accumulated. And it was during the 10th board. We have 10th and 12th board in our school. So 10th board, it was big exams were going on. In mid of the board, I suffered from severe bleed in my left hip. And I had to give my last two exams on the wheelchair. I wasn't able to sit. I wasn't able to sleep. I was in so much pain. I would pop in the painkiller and go and give my exams. There were no other option for me. I was
Yeah.
bedridden for 4 months.
Wow.
And during that time, I taught myself again, because I wasn't having control on my left knee. Okay. So I would fall down. So I had taught myself how to walk again during that time, because of it, because no particular physiotherapy was available. There are very few people who would know how to handle a hemophilic patient
Yeah.
and
So
give
right.
them.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why even we won't have an expert or ortho surgeon who would guide us how to recover or rehabilitate after this type of conditions. So I did it myself. And then again, I don't know what God had in mind. Come at the 11th class, I had right pulmonary tuberculosis. So because we have already having bleeding disorder, right? The bleeding won't stop. The doctors did lots of x-rays, and even the sputum test was done, but the tuberculosis wasn't detected. So 1 year I would have almost died multiple of times. But then I realized that because I was alive after that 1 year time period, and finally it was diagnosed to be tuberculosis, and I was alive. So then I realized that life has a purpose. My life has a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after that, I never looked back. I never said why. I
Mm.
said thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have always been on my journey. I always wanted to become a scientist. I became a scientist, but there was very few opportunities for me to actually enter into the field where I can actually do research. I am from a biotechnology background, so I wanted to do research on hemophilia. So I even did my training from one of the research centers on hemophilia. And after that, again, you need to be PhD to actually go into mainstream this thing. But my father retired in 2009 from his job, and that was it. That was the time when I completed my master's. So being the eldest son, you have to take some responsibilities, right? So I couldn't go after a PhD or complete my doctorate or something like that. But again, I worked into it, and my dream kept on changing. My goals kept on changing. What is the purpose? Because it is to find that right purpose. What is the purpose, right? So the goals can change, your these things can change, but the purpose cannot change. Everyone has one fixed purpose given by God, and these goals are just the pathways to achieve that goal, that a particular purpose in life. So then I realized that I have been through this. I met few people who are from the same fraternity, rare fraternity, even rarer than hemophilia. I have seen a child which was trying to cry, but because of the genetic condition, the voice wouldn't come out. Then I realized even more. My pain is there. I can shout, I can cry, I can talk about my pain. But that child couldn't talk about her pain, what she was going through. Then I realized how blessed I am that I can actually talk about my pain.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's all energy, isn't it? It's like
Yes.
if you're keeping it inside, actually can do you more.
Yes, it's more damaging. It's more damaging. And then began the journey of sharing the pain, right? Sharing the pain, sharing my life, learning with people around me, that how the things have been tough around me, and how I have been able to keep strong and come out of it, and still I can be positive, and I can look at the positive aspect of life, and still set a goal for myself and try and achieve it. So if I can do it, everyone else can do it. That is the main thing I want to teach. So there began the journey of being a life coach or motivational speaker, you can say. Whatever way, if my words can make a difference in your life, it can bring a positive change, then be it. I think that would be the biggest blessing that God has given me.
So what is the Power in Me Foundation all about?
It is again this purpose in action, right? It is as power in me. I do not say just about me. The power in me is for Anna also. It is for everyone. Those who say the name power in me, it is an affirmation. They are going to say the affirmation. They will realize their own power, because each and every individual has power in them. They just need to realize it. And that is why Power in Me Foundation is there. And our main objective is to talk about rare diseases and talk about the problems that rare disease patients go through in their life, their families go through their life. They suffer because of the condition. Any family, if they have even one person who is not healthy, forget about the rare disease. If someone has any other known disease also, and if it is lifelong, you have to spend on money on the medication, and again you have to take precautions, and all those things combined together, then there are a lot more things that a family goes through. If we think about it, then really we'll be able to understand. So that needs to be told, because many times, because of the social taboos, people do not talk about rare conditions. They believe people will make fun of us. They think that this may actually lead to people exploit us. And yes, these things happen. People feel ashamed because of it. They feel that they are not strong enough. So they are not ready to fight. So they do not tell anyone. They are hiding and they are in pain. The purpose is to bring them out here.
So
let them share their pain.
It sounds really good what you're doing. So for people who might be listening to this, who are, because like you say, when it's a rare condition, there's not many people have got it, but there's lots there's lots of different rare conditions, aren't there?
Yes.
So someone that could be listening to this who is feeling exactly how you described, that they they've got this condition and they don't really want anyone to know about it because they feel ashamed about it. what
Yes.
advice would you give them?
Have self-love. Don't focus on people who don't know you, right? Your life is not defined by those people around you. If you are alive or if you die, only it matters to only very close one, who care about you, right? Who are always there with you. So if you have to only care for someone, care for them, and rest of the world, say namaste. That's it. Say namaste to them. If they like you, it's okay. If they don't, good. Okay, tata, bye bye. No issues.
Yeah, I think it's funny, isn't it? Because it's ego, really, isn't it? And like, especially in this digital world where, you know, I call Facebook fake book, because
Yeah.
everybody shows the perfect part of the life. No,
Yes.
well, there's a minority that share everything, but
Yeah.
majority of people show all the positivity, don't they? And there's that pressure that society brings, that, you know, you're going to have a nice house, you're going to get married, you're going to have all these different material things, or no one wants to be authentic and actually describe their pains, or, you know, just really share the real side of them. I saw a quote recently that said, why are you bothered about what people think about you when you don't even love yourself?
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't love themselves. Everyone's got insecurities, but actually they're bothered about what other people think about them, and it's silly, really. But it's, you know, we all do it. We all have done it at some point. But like
Yeah.
you say, when you've gone through something, you come through the other side.
Yeah.
You realize by sharing it actually gives you
Yeah.
the power. You know.
Yes, exactly. And see, if I'm sitting today and talking to you after all these things that has happened to me and my family, that means I'm stronger, right? And as compared to some of those people who are, let's say, more blessed physically or health wise, if they go through these conditions, they panic. I have seen them. I have worked in corporate, in companies, and when it comes to taking decision, let me tell you, I'm a lot more at ease taking tougher decisions in life as compared to those people who have not faced tough decisions, tough things in their life. I know what to take the decision, and it is easier for me. I have seen them panicking and thinking how this is going to happen and what to do and what not to do. Even see, the uncertainty in our life is a kind of blessing, because we don't know whether I'm sleeping today. Let's say, okay, tomorrow morning I may not be that okay. I may be in pain and all, and then I have to replan my day, right? So I'm actually adjusted to being having uncertain conditions or things that may arise all of a sudden. But normal people, I'm calling normal, means those who do not have those health conditions, right? They panic that now how to handle these things. I think this is the blessing God has given us, that
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can remain calmer and take right decisions.
It's like with
Yeah.
everything that's happening in the world right now. You know, the whole world is
Yeah.
full of uncertainty with everything that's happened with the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, actually, because like you say, like I've not had any fear with everything that's happened, really, because of having sort of previous trauma or whatever. I can
Yeah.
handle things. Or my mum said to me recently, "You're always really calm." Like, I got a puncture in my car, my tire went, and I was like, "Oh, you know, I'll just walk." And I was with my children. I was like, "Come on, we'll go on a mission." And we just went to the sweet shop, and I called the repair guy, and when we came back, he was there. Whereas years ago, I'd have been stressed all about it for no
Exactly.
reason. But
Exactly.
when you've had kind of like what I say is real stress, or
Yes.
you've been able to get through that you can handle different. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be things in the future, you know, like something can happen to my pet, well, will happen to my parents at some point, or there's going to be other things I have to deal with that are hard to deal with. But I feel
Yeah.
like I've got the toolbox to deal with it really now, and allow myself to go through that. You know, not. I think a lot of people try and be strong, don't they? And actually, you've got to allow yourself to go through anything and get through the other
Yeah.
side. And it's funny you touched on normal, as I had this conversation with my 11-year-old son recently,
Yeah.
because he doesn't see his dad anymore. And he was like, I want to
Uh,
be a normal family, I want to be a normal family. And I said, we had this whole discussion. I was like, what is normal? There is no
y-
normal,
yes.
and it's, and like you're saying, like when you were saying about normal people, I know you didn't mean it in that way, but you were without the condition type of thing. And actually,
Yes.
we're all
Yes.
unique, aren't we? We're all unique in this world, and we've all got our
Yeah. uh,
individual.
exactly, and that is what is important, right? Because majority differentiate between normal, abnormal, or let's say they say weaker section, because again the society is divided, right, into different things, categorized each day. More categories are coming up: vulnerable, highly vulnerable, and all those things, terminologies are coming up to tag people, right? People who are rare conditions, they don't have good access to medical thing, because the things are costly, so they are termed, because you cannot be treated properly, we cannot provide you right environment, so the better thing is you stay at home, and whatever we are giving you, be happy into that. So I think this is not good, and this is what I try to talk about, that give right condition. And how could that be possible when every one of us is talking about it, not only the person suffering? Because rare condition can happen to any family, any generation, anytime,
Yeah,
because this Darwin's theory, evolution,
yeah,
mutation happens.
exactly.
So good and bad mutations happen.
Mm.
So one should be aware that if you are not helping someone today, you never know, your generation to come may be part of that community. And because you didn't help today, they may blame it on you, that you didn't create a society, right? You didn't create a society that could be equal, that could feel the pain of each other. So
Exactly.
it is right time when we talk about it, and we create a society for our future generations.
And interesting as well, like I kind of, with having friends from the Indian culture, and like I was saying to you before we recorded, within my business, I have a lot of relationships with India. I
Yeah.
understand from from a different culture's perspective, because obviously I'm not in
Yeah.
that culture, that
Yeah.
there's also probably a lot of pressure with larger families, and the shame on a family about speaking out, more
Exactly.
more more so than over here. I would have thought.
Yeah, exactly. See, there in Western countries, at least you do not have this type of pressure on the family, and you understand this thing. Though you may not be able to help, but here, in when we talk about the Indian context, and still the older generation clinging on to their older belief.
Yeah.
Things, and again, marrying of a woman, right, marrying of the girl child, if your family has a male who is a rare condition, the girl child could be a carrier. So don't talk about it. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
may not get married. Or don't talk about the health condition of the boy, because otherwise the boy may not get married. And it is important to get married, to have a child, because you need to move on the next generation, right? So so many things are to be there. So hiding a thing from someone whom you are going to make part of your life, you think that you are going to be together throughout your life, right? So how would that person feel? You are cheating from the day one, right? By not telling your condition, that is there from the beginning. If it is something that happens after marriage, that's totally different thing. But if it is pre-existing, it should be known. And that is actually the fight between my parents and me. My
Yeah,
parents say,
I was gonna say, that's why I touched on
yes.
it. I was thinking it. I thought I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it because from my perspective, you've got to be very brave, having gone through this and speaking out and sort of challenging the status quo, really.
Yeah.
Because
See,
you're right with everything you say, but you must have even had that even extra challenge. Do you know what I mean? With that culture and the family pressure.
Exactly. And they keep saying me why to tell initially. First talk to the person and then get to know, then tell her. I say that is wastage of time, isn't it?
Mm.
I'm working on something in my life also, and I have a life purpose. Not everyone actually realize what is life purpose, because for them having a normal life, again normal life, right? Going to a job, having a family, raising the children, getting them into school, college, then getting them married is normal life, right? And this is what they actually want in their life. So people like us who are crazy, we think that our life has a purpose that is beyond just this routine, because this is routine. If you find right people in your life, this will happen regularly. This routine will happen. It will
Exactly.
become normal, right? And at the same time, you can achieve why you are here.
Mm.
So this
Yeah.
is the thing. So my parents do not understand it. So I still have the fight. My father is 70 plus, mom is 60 plus. So they do not understand it. And again, I understand because
Yeah,
they
I
have grown
understand.
older.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had it. I had it a little bit with my parents that, I felt that they didn't really want me to share the story. But I could imagine it would have been a lot harder for you. That's why I was asking about it, because I think it shows that you've got that you knew that this purpose was overriding, and actually it is about self-care and self-love, isn't it? So I have these three pillars that within the podcast are called freedom in love, which is about self-love, really, freedom in money, financial freedom, and freedom in
Yes.
mind, because those are the
Yes.
three pillars that have kind of given me equilibrium.
Yes.
Because when I wasn't caring for myself and I didn't love myself, then I wasn't able to be the best version of me, really, or even help my children. When I was struggling financially, it was pressure, and
Yes.
then
Yes.
mindset. I mean, mind is such, I do. I used to think people who did meditation were strange, and now I do meditate daily, and
Yes.
I've really changed the person, and just generally just your mindset of being able to handle it. I call Fred in the head. Fred in the head gets in the way sometimes, and we have to tell Fred to get lost. But those are sort of my three pillars, and I'm sure you can relate to those within your
Exactly.
journey. So, people that are listening to this that are probably thinking, "Wow, this guy is really inspiring." How do they get a copy of your book? Of your You've done, as well as the foundation, you've got a book, haven't you? Power in Me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
See, I got it published through another publisher last year, because later on last year during lockdown, I was working on an anthology with one another publisher, because I was trying to understand which publisher would be best fit to work with my organization, because one of the objectives of my Power in Me Foundation is to empower people, right? To empower people with rare condition and disability. Now, because I am also a rare condition, many a times it is difficult for me to come out of the house, use the public amenities and transport, and go to the office, and then sit in the office and then do my job. It would be better if I have something to work from home. So writing was something that I always loved, and creative field is something where again people who are suffering are not able to complete their education. I'm blessed that I have completed my master's. Right, many are not even able to complete their academic in school, so they are less educated when we talk about learning. So how would they be employed, and where would they be employed? So again, creativity, where if you are a good poet, you are a good poet, right? You can use poetry. If you are a good singer, you have a good throat, that means you have a good voice. So it is a gift. You don't, it is nothing related to your education, right? So again, if you're a good actor, nothing to do with the education. So these are creative fields which again are good sources of income also, and good sources of employment. So I began with publishing the books, right? writing the books. Later, last year in December, we started to publish books. I discussed it with my chartered accountant, whether we can carry out with our trust or not. So because we have this thing, empowerment as an livelihood generation as a part of our objective, we are doing it as a part of our objective. We are helping regular people, right, who are into this thing, talented people who need to be given exposure, and at the same time people who are rare in condition. So already we have published 3 more rare people into anthologies, and now they are published author, right? So
Okay, that's good.
yes, and they are, see, they will become a hero in their community, right?
Yeah.
I cannot be known everywhere. I don't want to be known everywhere. So
Yeah.
there are people like me. There are 100 people who know them, personally,
Yeah.
who know their problem, their story. And once they see them performing, them getting noticed by people around, so they become their heroes, right? So they inspire. So it is basically trying to motivate people, inspire them such that they become their own heroes. So they are actually going to inspire the community they belong to. I'm here in one part of India. They are living in other part of India. Slowly, when we have many heroes in every part of India or every part of the world will become a better place, right? Because each one is inspiring each one.
Exactly. I love that. That's
Yes.
brilliant. So for people though that are listening to this that want to reach out to you, what is the best way to connect with you?
They can connect me through my email ID, empowerinme at gmail.com. So you can give it there in the description section.
Yeah, I will. I'll put it all in the
Yes.
notes. Yeah.
Yes, and at the same time, they can even connect with me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are there on Twitter, Facebook also. So anywhere on social media, these are 3-4 important social media I'm using.
Yeah.
So they can connect with me directly, or just email ID also. So
Yeah,
they can connect with
perfect.
me there. Yes.
Yeah. I will put all your social links in the comment section. So anyone that's listening, if you're on iTunes, you'll be able to read that in the show notes. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to read it in the comment section. Because I'm sure there's a few Manoj Singhs in the world. So we need to make sure that people connect with the right one. So really, it's been really inspiring speaking to you, Manoj. I always ask everybody at the end of an interview, what does freedom mean to you? So what does freedom mean to you?
Freedom for me is that I could breathe freely, right? I could breathe freely. That's it.
Yeah.
Breathe freely means there shouldn't be any restriction onto what I think or what I do. And I shouldn't be tagged as that, see, that person has this problem or that problem or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me breathe, right? Let me breathe freely.
Yeah.
That is freedom.
I like
And
that.
I'll perform. I'll perform everything. What you expect, I'll perform better than that. And I have done that in my life. When people thought that I couldn't, I have achieved it.
Yeah, I love that. Brilliant. I love it. So brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your time. It's inspiring listening to your story. And I'm sure everyone will agree that, yeah, for anybody who's kind of got a kind of disease or, rare condition, I think you've inspired them to keep on going and to be able to give them the courage to share their truth, really. So I've got some working men in the background, so I hope you can't hear that.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's been really inspiring, so I really appreciate your time. So thanks ever so much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And it's just not about the rare condition, but anyone who is suffering because of any problem in their life. You just need to believe in yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
And you will be able to find the solution.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I just want to say that. Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your time, and we'll stay connected and we'll stay in touch. And thanks very much for sharing your story.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Your Freedom Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and subscribe on my YouTube channel. And if you want to get more freedom in your life, then come and join Your Freedom Project Facebook group, which the link is below in the comments section. And I am giving you a copy of my visualization manifesting book. So manifest more freedom in your life and live the life of your dreams.
Hey, thank you for listening. Hope you had a blast. Here to elevate your life. It's the Freedom Podcast. Love, money, mine. Love, money, mine. Wanna see you all win. Wanna see you all shine. Just make sure that you subscribe. Bringing good vibes. Join the Facebook group. Now it's time to change your life. Hope you come back. Right now is the chance. This is an experience. It's the Freedom Podcast. Hey.